Hello, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. I'm Tom Goodwin, and this is Michelle Ronquillo.
Hello, everybody.
And today's subject will be positive social change. And this is a subject that's rather important to what Positive Vibes Enterprise is all about. We are very motivated to make a difference in this world, and we think that this world really needs to be changed for the better. We don't see it as being anywhere near as good as it could be with all the problems that are happening in it.
Yes, a lot of people become focused on themselves to where it is important to remember that the outside spiritual energies matter as well as the inside spiritual energies.
There's a lot of not so positive things happening in this world. There's a lot of violent wars and atrocities happening. There's a lot of abuse, and there's a lot of out of control desires that are causing havoc. And we really need to do something about the situation, especially since we're in such a highly technological world where
Yes.
the problems are a lot more intense than they were in the past. Things get exaggerated because of the responsibility that comes with having all the technology and knowledge that we now have. So we need to get more mature spiritually to be able to handle everything.
Also, with the technology, I wanted to add that a lot of people communicate now through emails and texts, and they don't interact socially with other people. And it is important spiritually that you get the understanding of how to react um, and listen to the other reactions that are coming through, not on just a text. Because if you say something, it's going to be totally different in perception because the emotion goes right into the meaning of what is being said.
And it the spiritual is not all about what's going on within yourself. What's going on within yourself, you have to straighten out in order to do something to straighten out what's going on around you in the outside world. But we are not here just to be independent spirits working on ourselves and ignoring what's happening around us. Because the reality that's happening around us is where we prove how capable we are spiritually. It's in the resistant physical world with all its problems that we are able to test ourselves as to what we can really do spiritually. It's easy if you cut the world out and all the physical challenges of the world, and then you try to say anything's possible spiritually. Of course, anything's possible if you don't have any challenges, if you're just all imagination and no substance.
That really goes into different causes too that motivate you, gets that activation inside of you. For instance, uh, the medical industry um, made a mistake in and resulted in the death of my mother. So the cause of the medical industry behavior got me going with the cause to open the Starfish Spiritual Community Foundation with Tom here. Gets that activation going to help different causes that
And,
are unjust.
and a lot of times people get victimized a lot, and when somebody is victimized, they a lot of times will get involved in causes because actually they're no longer a victim as soon as they use the energy to do something positive in the world. In other words, you don't want to have a victim mentality. What you want to do is if you are victimized or a problem has presented itself personally to you or somebody you know, then you look at it as an opportunity to um, be an activist for a cause and make a difference in the world. And it gives you that motivation. You can be very motivated when you've been personally affected by things. And we need people that are motivated in different problem areas in this world in order for those problems to be addressed in a lot better way than they are right now.
Yes, very hard trauma issues. People can crumble or they become the voice for the cause that they got victimized in, which is a beautiful thing to witness, just like John Walsh. And then he turned it around and became America's Most Wanted, voicing out the traumas and hard issues spiritually in this world is those leaders and those warriors that we need out there on the front line, showing people that it is okay to voice out. It is important to heal. It is important to have that spiritual motivation to not only change yourself inside, because believe me, that's first, because it overflows into the outside. But as we're feeling it in ourselves, sometimes reaching out and giving to other people become that motivation to say, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one experiencing this.
And one of the things about being motivated by the society and the problems of the world is it's a stronger motivation than you can get just being inside, just having your own self motivation. Like with me, the reason why I am the spiritual pioneer is I am very much aware of the serious problems that happen in this world. I have empathy for them, and that empathy and that concern for the state of this world has motivated me to really go a lot further than if it was just all about me. If it was only myself, I wouldn't be anywhere near as motivated. But I get connected, and there's a lot of people out there. You get a whole bunch of spirits together. It's a lot stronger than one spirit. So you get connected with a cause that represents a whole bunch of spirits. A lot more can happen. So being motivated beyond yourself and not being just, some people spiritually get stuck in themselves and they don't. And of course, as I say, if you're not connected to the outside world very much, then you can have a fantasy world in which anything's possible. But if you don't depend on the fact that that concrete result where you really can tell whether you're really being effective virtually, because the spiritual is the problems of the world are rooted in the spiritual.
Yes.
And when you're a spiritual pioneer like me, you work on the roots. And the reason because I'm not effective in other areas, it made me a better spiritual pioneer because I see all the problems. I've run into them all personally, so I have empathy for them, and I know that the best way to deal with it is to transform things in the spiritual level, because if you transform on the spiritual level, the other level will automatically change.
Yes.
But there'll be activists that will be motivated to make a change, but you first have to have the spiritual to motivate them.
Yes, when the hospitals took my mother, the first thing that I thought of was the foundation and the righteous justice so nobody else would lose their mama. And it just motivated me to keep researching and striving. And here we are today, making a difference in the world with our voice and spiritual insights of Tom and his trainings, and also my knowledge and walking of the experiences spiritually. We put ourselves outside, and it's a balance outside, inside, in the everyday views of the spiritual.
Yes, you have to work on yourself inwardly to be effective outwardly, but it's the outward problems and things that can motivate you to work more on yourself inwardly. So there's a balance between the two of them.
And don't give in to the people that say, this world's so messed up, it's never gonna change. Don't let them put doubts in you, because you are the example that other people will see and say, wow, that is an awesome example to help the world change and to show that we need to move the spiritual environment of our world into a new, higher level of connection and reaching out and voicing, not just texting and emails, but actual communication and connections with others really make a difference spiritually.
And a lot of people, they talk about a new age coming, and they think it's going to come automatically, that they'll just go for the ride, they just go with the flow, and the new age will happen. But it's not that way. People have to do the work to get resolved. So the new age will only happen if people do the hard work, and a lot of it's inwardly, but it has to be done outwardly too, to
Yes.
transform this world. And a lot of having the reason why Positive Vibes Enterprise exists is because we want to get a movement started in this direction.
Yes.
And my
No more lazy thinking. Let's go forward with the spiritual understanding that we change it with our actions.
And I'm a spiritual pioneer, so I've gone places that other people would see no reason to go, but I have had a reason to go because of the type of spirit I am and the fact that I'm limited and specialized the way I am. So I've gone places where nobody else has gone. Now you can challenge me. You can come at me and say I'm full of hot air or BS or whatever. You can do that, but you're going to see the substance that I'm made out of because I've trained in a way nobody else has trained. And you'll see that if you challenge me. And I welcome all challenges. Now, hard work pays off, and I'm an example of that. And I'm going to show
And
the
I
fact.
am too.
And I can demonstrate that. And I'm not. I'm just a very specialized person, and I'm doing the best I can with what I have. But believe me, I know what I'm good at because I put the effort in.
Yes,
And
and we're here to help you and help you understand how to get your footings and go on your spiritual intensity journeys to make a difference in the world. We all are unique and we need every single buddy on foot, standing up, going forward with this new push of spiritual understanding with reality based senses of inside and out, doing our footwork, not being lazy. Don't be a lazy thinker. Get that spiritual mojo going for yourself and for our world. Let's change the world by the examples that we all do.
and it's not all about me or all about any one person. I do my part, but the thing is, people can train the way I train and become even better than me. And
That's the goal. Like parents, you always want your kids to do better than you and succeed you. And that's what's beautiful about movements is that everybody comes aboard and then they evolve it into something wonderful and then it keeps evolving into this beautiful change spiritually that eventually changes the whole perception of how people spiritually look at things.
and nobody should be afraid to borrow or take from anybody else anything that'll help them to go further spiritually. As soon as you take it, it's your own. If you utilize my techniques, once you've utilized it, it's yours. It's part of you. So
Yes.
I don't. So the fact that it may have originated by me, that's not so important. It's the fact that you're utilizing it and it's working.
Yes, and you evolve it to fit you. That's how spiritual evolvement works anyway. You take things, you take it in, and then you evolve it to what works for you the best.
Because all I'm doing is doing the best I can with the abilities and what I have going for me. I'm just like everybody else, except for I'm very unique in my abilities, and I have to utilize what I have. So I'm not really any different in the direction that I'm trying to get the most out of myself, just like everybody else. It's just that I'm different, and so I've moved in a different direction than a lot of people. It's good we have people to have different abilities and that specialize in different areas. And I'm all about everybody reaching the most in their potential to become the best they can be in this world, and to make this world the best world we can develop, we can create. And we can have a lot better world than this, believe it or not. To me, we've been in the dark ages spiritually for quite a
Yes.
while, and that right now with the technology and everything, we have to develop more spiritual maturity.
Yes.
We cannot be hanging on to autocratic type beliefs that from the past. We have to be willing to evolve our spiritual ideas
Yes.
and
Plug
techniques.
into that empathy and compassion, not only with yourself but with others. That is very important in the movement.
And science has developed so much, but I feel spiritually we're still back living in the past. We can take a similar approach as science does, in that we can constantly be upgrading and developing and figuring out better theories that will work better. And we do not have to be stuck with certain ideologies that are sort of addictive and do not that actually discourage people to use their creativity to improve on them, on the belief, the theories that are virtue theories that are in them. So I think we pretty well covered this subject, and I hope that we can somehow or other get together and start a movement
Yeah.
with what we have to offer here. I want a lot more people showing up at our studio here and
Yes.
representing, because it shouldn't be. Things start with small numbers, but in the future, I want
Yes.
lots and lots of people, because I'm not into hogging the spotlight. I just do what I feel I have to do to get out, to do the best I can with what I have to offer to the world.
Yes. Yes, and turn those storms into rainbows and not be a victim and be a spiritual warrior of change and voice and activism for this new movement of a spiritual example in action of what we can do individually and together.
And we can do amazing things spiritually. And that you have to believe.
Yes.
We can, and I know we can, because that's the area that I focused in. So you just have to believe that, and then you have to get other people to believe it. And once you start believing
Yes.
things possible, you'll be more willing to do the hard work to make it possible.
Belief is the key, definitely. Energy, matter, information, all the same things, different forms. And emotion is that spiritual key that activate every single one of them. Belief is the power that gives it the push and the drive to become anything that you want it to be.
Well, thank you for watching us
Yes.
at Positive Vibes Enterprise.
Please leave comments and let us know your ideas and thoughts.
We
We'd love to
want
hear you.
we want all of you to become part of this.
Yes.
We do not want to be on our own on this, because it's always better to have lots of people working
Yes.
together.
Yes, definitely.